You know what most people do wrong in relationships, in friendships, even in business? They chase. They chase people, they chase validation, they chase answers. And here's the truth. When you are constantly chasing, you're sending one loud, clear message. I'm not enough as I am. Think about it. If you're texting someone over and over, if you're bending your schedule, your boundaries, and your energy just to get their attention, you're basically saying, my time isn't valuable, but yours is. That is not respect, that is desperation. The mindset shift is this: if someone wants to be in your life, they will show up, they will make the effort, they will come to you, and if they don't, then you just got the most powerful gift in the world: clarity. You now know exactly where you stand, and you can stop wasting energy on people who aren't meant for you. This doesn't just apply to dating, it applies to friendships, family dynamics, even work relationships. When you stop forcing things, when you stop begging people to see your worth, you create space for the right ones to find you. And trust me, they will, because here's the truth: the people who are meant to be in your life won't need chasing. They'll meet you halfway, they'll value your time, they'll respect your boundaries, and you won't have to twist yourself into someone you're not just to keep them around. So the next time you feel that urge to chase, to push, to prove yourself, pause. Pull your energy back, stand in your worth, say to yourself, I don't chase, I attract. If it's meant for me, it will come to me. That shift will change everything about the way you show up in your relationships and in your life. Stop running after people who can't see your value. Let her come to you. Let them come to you. And if they don't, that's your sign to move forward, stronger, freer, and more aligned with the life you actually deserve. When you chase someone, whether it's their love, attention, or approval, you're actually sending a subtle but powerful message. I'm not enough on my own. I need you to validate me. Most people don't realize this, but the act of chasing always creates imbalance. It places one person in the position of power and the other in the position of desperation. The one who chases loses their ground because the moment you start running after someone, you are admitting that you fear losing them more than you value yourself. And when people sense that energy, they often start to pull away even more, because no one is naturally attracted to desperation. What draws people in is confidence, self-respect, and the ability to stand firm in your worth. Think about it in simple terms. Imagine you're constantly calling or texting someone, waiting anxiously for their response, and analyzing every small thing they do. What does that do to you? It drains your energy, fills your mind with doubts, and makes you overthink every action. Instead of showing up as your authentic, powerful self, you show up as someone trying too hard to win a place in their world. You stop being grounded in who you are and start becoming someone who bends, shifts, and molds themselves just to fit into someone else's story. That is not love. That is not respect. It's self-abandonment. When you chase, you put the other person on a pedestal. You're essentially saying, your presence is worth more than my peace. Your approval is more valuable than my self-worth. And the moment you do that, you strip away your own power. Because here's the truth: no one is above you. No one's attention is so precious that you should compromise who you are just to keep it. When you chase, you make yourself smaller, and the more you shrink yourself, the less magnetic you become. People don't feel drawn to someone who is desperate to be chosen. They feel drawn to someone who has already chosen themselves. The energy of chasing also repels what you're trying to attract. It's like running after a butterfly. The harder you chase, the further it flies away. But if you sit still, grounded, and at peace, the butterfly often lands on you. Relationships, opportunities, and connections work the same way. When you stand in your worth and stop running after people, you naturally create a magnetic pull. You start to attract those who see your value without you having to scream for it or prove it. So the next time you feel that urge to chase, whether it's sending another message when they haven't replied, rearranging your plans just to fit into theirs, or constantly proving that you're worthy, pause. Recognize what that action is actually saying. It's saying, I don't trust that I'm enough on my own. And that belief is the very thing holding you back. Instead of chasing, shift your energy inward. Focus on becoming so secure, so grounded, so whole in yourself that you no longer need to run after anyone. When you live in that energy, the right people won't just come to you. They'll stay, because they'll feel the strength and authenticity you carry. Respecting your own time and energy is one of the most powerful forms of self-love you can practice. Every time you go out of your way to overextend for someone who doesn't reciprocate, you're teaching them how to treat you. You're showing them that your schedule doesn't matter, your priorities can be pushed aside, and your needs are secondary to theirs. And the truth is, people rarely value what they don't have to work for. When you hand over your time and energy too easily, it can create an unhealthy dynamic where your effort is expected but not appreciated. That cycle slowly erodes your confidence because you begin to feel drained, used, or invisible, and it all stems from forgetting to place value on yourself first. Think about it this way: your time is your life. Every minute you give away is a piece of your existence you'll never get back. If you give it freely to people who don't respect it, you're essentially saying that your life isn't worth protecting. And when you treat your time as though it's cheap, others will too. The moment you start saying yes to every demand, answering every call, rearranging your day to fit into someone else's convenience, you begin to disappear from your own life. It doesn't feel obvious at first, but little by little, you lose your balance and end up living for other people instead of yourself. Energy works the same way. Your energy is your presence, your creativity, your emotional fuel. If you constantly pour it into people who don't pour it back into you, you're running yourself dry. Relationships, whether personal or professional, shouldn't feel like transactions where you're always in debt. They should feel balanced with a natural give and take. When you respect your energy, you're setting an invisible boundary that tells others, I'm not available for one-sided connections. And people who value you will respect that boundary, while people who don't will fall away. That's not a loss, it's a filter. It removes those who were never meant to truly invest in you in the first place. When you start honoring your time and energy, something powerful shifts. You stop showing up in relationships from a place of need, and instead, you show up from a place of abundance. You're not chasing, you're choosing. You're not giving just to prove your worth. You're giving because it aligns with who you are and what feels good for you. And that is where respect begins. When you demonstrate self-respect, others have no choice but to meet you at that level, or move out of the way. The truth is, protecting your time and energy is not selfish, it's necessary. It's what allows you to show up fully in the areas and relationships that truly matter. It's what keeps you aligned, grounded, and powerful. And the moment you decide that your life is too valuable to waste on people who don't respect it, you'll notice how quickly everything changes. You'll attract relationships that flow, opportunities that energize you, and people who understand your value without you needing to constantly remind them. Because respect always starts with how you treat yourself. Clarity is one of the greatest gifts you can ever receive. Yet most people resist it because it doesn't always show up the way they want. When someone doesn't reciprocate your effort, when they don't call back, when they don't prioritize you, it stings. But hidden in that sting is the truth you need. Their lack of effort is not an attack on your worth. It's simply information. It's clarity. It's the universe handing you the answer you've been searching for without you having to waste months or years trying to decode mixed signals. Instead of seeing it as rejection, you can choose to see it as a clear redirection. The beauty of clarity is that it removes the fog. How many times have you found yourself overanalyzing every little thing someone did, trying to figure out what they meant, or waiting endlessly for them to finally give you the attention or commitment you were hoping for? That endless guessing game drains you emotionally and mentally. It keeps you trapped in cycles of hope and disappointment. But when you accept people's actions at face value, you set yourself free. You stop needing explanations or excuses. Their effort, or lack of it, is the only explanation you need. Clarity allows you to make decisions from a place of strength rather than confusion. When you recognize that someone isn't showing up for you, you no longer have to wonder if you're overthinking or if maybe you just need to try harder. No, the answer is right in front of you. They aren't invested. And that truth, as painful as it may feel in the moment, is liberating. Because the moment you embrace it, you reclaim your time, your energy, and your power. You stop pouring yourself into a dry well and instead open yourself to connections that flow naturally. The reason many people fear clarity is because it forces them to confront reality. It's easier, in some ways, to hold on to potential, the what if, of what someone could be, rather than the truth of what they're showing you right now. But living in potential is like living in quicksand. You get stuck waiting for someone else to become the person you hope they'll be, and in the meantime, your own life is put on hold. Clarity, on the other hand, is solid ground. It tells you exactly where you stand so you can decide whether to stay or walk away. What's powerful about clarity is that it never lies. Words can be deceptive, promises can be broken, but actions always reveal the truth. When you stop ignoring what's right in front of you and accept it as it is, you take control back. You stop chasing, you stop guessing, and you stop settling for less than you deserve. And in that space, you gain the courage to let go of what's not working and create room for what will. So the next time someone fails to show up for you, don't beg for answers, don't cling to excuses. See it for what it is, clarity, and let that clarity guide you toward people who don't need convincing to value you. Because the truth is, clarity isn't rejection, it's protection. It's life saving you from wasting your energy in the wrong places and leading you to where you're truly meant to be. Healthy connections are built on balance, and that balance is what makes them feel effortless. When someone truly values you, you don't have to beg for their attention, you don't have to question their intentions, and you don't have to carry the weight of the relationship on your shoulders. They will meet you halfway. They will show up without needing to be reminded, without needing to be chased because they want to. That is the foundation of any authentic bond: mutual respect, mutual effort, and mutual presence. Anything less than that will eventually leave you feeling drained and unworthy, even though the truth is you were never the problem to begin with. Think about the relationships that make you feel the most secure. They are never the ones where you're anxiously waiting for a reply or wondering if you did something wrong. They are the ones where communication flows, where both people put in effort, and where respect is not earned through constant proving, it's given freely. That kind of connection doesn't feel heavy. It feels steady, safe, and energizing. When you're in it, you don't have to doubt your place, because it's clear in the way the other person shows up for you consistently. On the flip side, when the effort is one-sided, the imbalance creates tension. You start overcompensating, sending more messages, doing more favors, showing more care, in the hope that the other person will finally reciprocate. But here's the truth: if someone wants to, they will. Effort is never hidden. People who care about you will make time, no matter how busy they are. People who want you in their lives won't leave you guessing. The ones who are right for you will not make you beg for the bare minimum. They will naturally meet you where you are, because they see your value without needing to be convinced. This applies to every relationship, romantic, platonic, or professional. In friendships, the healthiest ones are those where both people check in, both people listen, and both people celebrate each other. In family relationships, the healthiest ones are where boundaries are respected and love is expressed without conditions. Even in work, the healthiest dynamics are those where respect and recognition go both ways. The pattern is always the same: balance sustains, while imbalance drains. When you demand less than mutual effort, you're setting yourself up for exhaustion. You begin to normalize doing all the work, and over time, that chips away at your self-esteem. But when you step back and allow only reciprocal energy into your life, you elevate your standards. You stop tolerating crumbs because you know you deserve the whole meal. And here's what happens: when you raise your standards, the wrong people will fall away, but the right ones will rise to meet you. The right people are never confused about how they feel about you. They don't keep you waiting, they don't play games, and they don't disappear when things get hard. They stand with you, they invest in you, they give as much as they receive. And that's what makes the connection real. It's not forced, it's not lopsided, it's not conditional, it's mutual. And in that mutuality, you find peace, security, and the freedom to be fully yourself. Shifting from chasing to attracting is about changing the energy you live in and the way you see yourself. Chasing comes from fear: fear of being alone, fear of missing out, fear that you're not enough. Attracting, on the other hand, comes from power. It comes from being rooted in your worth, knowing exactly who you are, and trusting that what is meant for you will find you without you having to beg for it. That shift doesn't mean you sit back and do nothing. It means you stop forcing connections and start aligning with the ones that naturally flow into your life. When you're in chasing mode, your entire focus is on the other person. You think about what they want, how they feel, and what you can do to keep their attention. In the process, you lose yourself. You stop asking, "Do I even want this?" and instead get stuck in, "How can I get them to want me?" That is exhausting. It's also disempowering because you're handing over control of your happiness to someone else's choices. Attracting flips that dynamic. It puts the focus back on you, on your growth, your values, your happiness. You become the center of your own world, and from that place, you naturally draw in the people and opportunities that align with you. Attracting is magnetic. It doesn't mean you don't care about others. It means you care about yourself enough not to chase what isn't meant for you. When you know your worth, you don't feel the need to prove it. You walk into rooms differently, you speak differently, your energy shifts, and people feel it. They are drawn to your confidence, your presence, and your ability to stand tall without needing constant reassurance. That's the power of attraction. It's not about manipulating others to notice you. It's about becoming so authentic and aligned that the right ones can't help but notice. One of the most powerful ways to live in this energy is to set boundaries. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are filters that allow the right people in. When you make it clear what you will and won't tolerate, you stop wasting energy on situations that drain you. You create space for people who respect your boundaries, who see your worth, and who are willing to meet you where you are. This is attraction at its core. You're not chasing love, respect, or opportunities. You're embodying them so fully that they naturally flow toward you. Attracting also requires patience. Chasing is immediate. You're trying to grab hold of something right now, even if it doesn't fit. Attraction takes trust. It takes faith that what's aligned with you will arrive at the right time. It means walking away when something feels forced, even if you don't yet see the better thing that's waiting for you. That trust is what keeps you from settling, and it's what keeps you aligned with your highest self. When you stop chasing and start attracting, your life changes. Relationships feel lighter because you're no longer trying to prove your worth. Opportunities feel more aligned because you're not grabbing at anything just to fill a void. And most importantly, you feel stronger, freer, and more at peace because you're no longer running after things. You're allowing them to come to you. In the end, the message is simple. You don't need to chase anyone or anything to prove your worth. What is meant for you will come to you when you stand in your value, protect your energy, and honor your boundaries. The right people, the right opportunities, the right connections will always meet you halfway, and the wrong ones will simply clear the path for better things ahead. Thank you for giving me your time and attention today. I hope these words remind you of your strength, your power, and the freedom that comes from knowing you are already enough.